What's up everybody, it is Royal J here and I am back with another Insecure review, so let's just get right into it. Season 2, Episode 2.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Zuzi on the track.
First start off with Molly and Issa talking, and Issa is talking to Molly about how her and Lawrence had sex when he came over to get his mail. Molly is all sorts of confused, so she's just asking a lot of questions like what type of fuck was it? Like, was it we're getting back together? Was feeling very bad for Issa because I really want her to find happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I just really want her to be with Lawrence, but then again I want her to move on and find peace and kind of be happy with somebody else. That she sends, Lawrence a text and he just replied with yep, and Molly reads the text and was just like, well, this is not really a question. Like, Molly asks Issa, how are you feeling? And she's just like, she feels confused, and I can understand because I'm confused too. I'm confused for her. Might just need some time, especially after everything that happened. Afterwards, we see Molly is talking to her therapist, and she keeps saying the word should. This is telling her, you use that word should a lot. And she was just like, have you noticed that? And Molly was like, no. And I haven't noticed it either until after hearing the therapist say it, and then you think about it, she does use the word should a lot when she talks. So that's kind of like her favorite word. Like all of us have that one word that we always say after a sentence or whatever we're doing, Like me, mine is and I have to keep editing it out because after every word I says, like y'all know. After all of that, the therapist plans another session next week and Molly agrees. The girls go and they all hanging out and drinking and they're at an art museum. So the conversation about Issa and Lawrence comes up, and Issa was like, well, me and Lawrence talked and whatever, and we might not be getting back together again, but it might just be like a friendship. So they kind of asked her like, what was you talking about? So Molly was like, yeah, what was the conversation about? Issa, what was you guys talking about? Because Molly knows what actually happened. It really wasn't a conversation. It was just hey, I left my stuff in the bathroom and closed the door, and then next thing you know, they're having relations on the couch. She tells him, she just have to give him some space after cheating on him, and it's a hurting thing when that has happened to you. So it's kind of like you take some time to get over it and kind of gather your thoughts and get things right. But I don't think it's going to work out for them two, you guys. Like, I really hope it do, but I just don't think it will. One of the girls, I forgot her name. I always forget. Is it Keisha, I think? Kelly? I don't know. But the one who always getting drunk and acting the fool. She was like, oh, someone said something about Lawrence's new girl. And Issa was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? She was like, the girl that he was messing around with before you. Issa pretends like she's fine, everything is alright, but you could tell on the inside, we could tell on the inside that she's really not feeling it. They find her, Molly finds her Instagram, and they all looking around, talking about her lace front look. Just being her regular old self in the mirror, talking to herself, getting crunk and stuff, and Molly was like, girl, is you alright? And she was like, pull that bitch up. And then Molly was like, yeah. So Issa goes to his friend's house, which he is currently living in. Not there, the friend is very awkward with them two standing in the door. He's asking her questions about if she's still working at the place with the kids. She's like, yeah. He's talking to her about some smoothie juicing place that just opened up. He was like, he's not here. And he was like, do you want me to let him know that you came? And she was like, no. And he just acting very awkward. Like, that friend really is weird. And he's like one of those friends that you really don't want to be bothered with sometimes because he does too much. You see that Lawrence is with his new girl, which is Tasha. Is talking about how, her family is having a barbecue, and she was just like, oh, I was going to see if you wanted to come. And he was like, wait, what? He comes on and tell how what happened between him and Issa, and you can tell she get very irritated. While he's telling her that stuff happened between him and Issa, she was just like, oh, well, well, I'm gonna need you to leave. It's like, you knew what the situation was. Like, them two, they breakup was fresh. And you saw he was in a vulnerable place and you took advantage. And he kind of did too, but it was just like, because he could have pushed her away and was like, no, like, I'm dealing with this. And then she could have said, no, you know, the breakup is fresh and you're really not over her, so let's just not take that step yet. But instead, they choose to take that step anyway. So I don't feel bad for her, but she was irritated and she just kicked him out of her house. So Issa keeps stalking this girl's Instagram once she finds it. She's looking at her pictures, looking at her posts, just looking at everything. Lawrence and his friend, I don't remember the friend name. I'ma try to, it's too many names, but I'ma try to remember these names. Lawrence gets to this house or apartment, and the friend is just confronting him about telling the girl about what happened between him and Issa. It was just like, why would you do that? You know, you turned into a John Legend nigga. Like, why would you tell her and stuff? He was just like, you know, I'm not that type of person. And we all know that Lawrence has a heart. Like, looking at this empty apartment, and once they get upstairs, they look at this, a 2-bedroom, and Issa is sitting down in her couch and she's reading, and she's stalking this girl Instagram. She's stalking the girl Instagram page again and just looking at all her stuff, and it's just like, girl, just get over it. Just leave it alone. Molly is at the hockey game and she's sitting there talking to these guys, and then she goes over to talk to the boss, and she's just like, oh, lobster rolls, and just basically trying to impress him. I guess to try to get this raise. So she's just doing the absolute most. So Issa is stalking Tasha's Instagram again, and the next thing you know, she's looking at all her social media. That's where she works at, and she goes to the place where the girl works, and she sees the Best Buy that Lawrence works at. Then she sees the bank that Tasha works at. So the next thing we see, Issa is walking into the bank and she's getting ready to punch. She punches the girl and was just like, you know, you just got jalapeno pop. Like, she hit her, but then next thing you know, she was daydreaming. And I'm just like, y'all know that gets on my nerve. Like, she sit in the car and she sees the girl and her co-worker's walking out. And Issa lays back in the seat, sad and hurt about what's going on. And then afterwards, the security comes to her car and just like, ma'am, you can't sleep there. And she sees him, well, he runs into her, he spots her first, and they're talking, and it's a little bit awkward at the beginning. But once he walks away, she walks him and just like, how you doing? They're talking, and you know, she was like, she cheated, yeah, but she's not a cheater. So she asked him, does he hate her? And he was just like, no, he don't hate her. He don't have any problem with it. So she asked him, well, could you two possibly get back together? Then it pans, and that's when it pans over to her laying in the car, and the security comes over and tell her that she can't sleep there. So Molly calls, and Molly informs her what happened between her and Lawrence. And she was just like, you know, I'm sorry, but he says he's over it. Like, it's done. And he also tells Molly that he found an apartment too. So Lawrence goes to Tasha's house to, I guess, apologize for what happened between him and Issa. She's just like over it. She's like, she pissed off. While he's explaining and apologizing to her and kind of talking to her, she tells him, you know, she has some food on the stove that she needs to cook, so she gotta go. So she asked him, was he hungry? And he was like, yeah. So they go in the house, and you know, I guess she's not mad at him no more. And then afterwards, we see Issa is in her home and she's fixing up her closet, putting her clothes, moving them back and forth. He is on his date. She goes and lay down in the bed and she's on his dating site. And she texts one of the guys that, I don't know, but it looks like Luke James to me a little bit from when you look at the little picture, but it might not be, I could be wrong. And each other back and forth, and she was like, you know what, you trying to fuck? And I'm just like, okay. Now, I don't want Issa to go down this road at all, but I feel like she's single, she's young, she's beautiful, like why not? Like hold it up if that's what you want to do, just be protected at all times. I'm just saying, you know, I'm all for it, but just protect yourself at all costs. So I don't know, I don't think things are going to work out between Issa and Lawrence, but I really wanted to. I really hope that they kind of come to a common ground. But as of right now, it's not happening. So I feel like Issa is young. She should go and have fun and enjoy her life. Like when y'all two was together, you wasn't really happy with him. And once y'all broke up, you got even unhappier. So it's just like, now that you're free, go find somebody that could fulfill your needs and make you happy and do the things for you that Lawrence wouldn't or couldn't. Yeah, that was my review on the show. Pretty good, not too much happened, but it was good for a second episode. So make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow all my social media down below in the description box, and that bell also, when you get notified when I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one.